Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to make sure that I can find myself over here. I'm Melissa Thomas, and if I don't know you, welcome. I've heard that it's been a fun, busy day. I came on live this morning to help Melissa Ramirez because she wasn't able to come on live. So I'm excited to be here with you for my card that I designed. I'm just pulling up my live feed on my Facebook so I can see all the comments. If you're here, make sure you comment down below so I know you're here. Hi, Gail. Nice to see you again. You were on this morning. And just wanted to tell you a little bit about my card and my stamp set and what kind of what my goal was. So I am featuring the Campology. Hi, Darlene. Hey, Crystal. The stamp set I'm featuring is called Campology. And Campology is a really cool, hi Lynn, really fun stamp set that I was like, oh, that's on my list. Most of you know, hi Kathy, most of you know that I am a Girl Scout leader. This is our 5th year in Girl Scouts. Marianne and I both just got our 5-year pin, so we just completed our 5th year. This is actually our 6th year. And I love being a troop leader. My girls are cadets now. So 6th, 7th, and 8th grade is the level. I will say that we kind of hit our sweet spot in 4th and 5th grade. By 4th grade, they were leading the meetings themselves. They were partnered together, and we continued that through 5th grade as juniors. But this last year, going camping with them as 5th graders, you really got to see them take ownership. They were pitching their own tents. They were without fuss, right? They were helping each other pitch tents. So it was really cool. So when Marianne saw this, she goes, "Oh, hey mom, that's our coffee pot when we go camping." I was like, "You're right, it is." So anyway, I'm really excited to show you this. And I've got a fun card planned. It's a fun fold. So I'll show you kind of what that looks like. I'm just going to grab, I need 2 more blocks. This is meant to be, I don't think it's avid. I definitely think it's not a casual, like it's not a beginner card. The only reason I'll say that is because there's heat embossing. But I mean, I think heat embossing can be a beginner thing. So, and I don't think that this is that crazy of a fold. It's a fun fold, but it's an easy fun fold. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of rotate us down and around. I'm also using the Perfectly Plaid or Plaid Tidings paper. And I'll rotate you down and I'll kind of show you what we're doing. And I do have one die cut that I did on the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. So here we go. Just hang tight and we will flip and mount. And here we go. And I will center us so that we can be in the right space. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So this is the card, and let me get the stamp set up here. So the stamp set has 4 sayings: enjoy today, happy trails, you brighten my path, and explore. It has the binoculars, which is good for any kind of birding enthusiast. The trees are just really nice, and I like that they're not perfect. Like this has kind of like some broken off branches because trees aren't perfect when you go camping or you're out in the wild. A cute tent, a really nice lantern that you could color any color you wanted, and then the really nice coffee and mug. So you guys, most of you know that, Lynn, thanks so much. Hi, Candy. You guys know I struggle with masculine cards. This is definitely a challenge for me. I think Plaid Tidings makes it easier. So I'm excited to show you. So this is the card, and it's a fun fold. This is an easy fun fold. I put the little tint on the inside. I love all of the shading and detail in the images. There is a lot of fine line detail on these images. They are red rubber. They are beautiful. Hi, Judy. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Gail. This is a beautiful fine line detail set, and I'm going to show you this. I mean, if you look at this lantern, there is a lot of detail in here, and what that does is it gives it beautiful dimension. They stamp really easy, and you could make really nice fast cards, I think, with this. So I'm going to show you how we're going to make the card base. So I use Just Jade. Just Jade is not a complementary color to the Plaid Tidings paper. Now, Plaid Tidings, as you know, and I mentioned this morning, this is on sale. It's $9.73, I think. It's one of the designer series packs that's included in the 15% off sale. It has 1,000 colors in it. But Just Jade is not one of them. Now, why did I go with Just Jade? It's a softer green, but it's not mint macaron. Mint macaron doesn't really say outdoorsy to me, and I feel it's a good complement to shaded spruce, and I wanted to use shaded spruce. Shaded spruce and pumpkin pie are both colors in here, so I knew that they would play well together. And I felt like it's natural looking, but it's not, overly dark or masculine. So more plaid paper, because I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make this, because this is definitely a little more involved. All right, so what we're going to do, you've got a piece of cardstock that's 5.5 by 8.5, right? We're going to take it and we're going to score it in the middle like we would normally, right? So we're going to score it at 4 1/4. And I always have to remind myself, the dark blade, deep dark cuts, right? Light scores. So we're going to score this, and that's going to give us our nice center fold, okay? And then we're going to rotate it this way, and we're going to do 1 1/4. And we're going to go 1 1/4, and we're going to cut all the way up to 4 1/4. All the way up to the line. Okay, then we're going to flip it. We're going to do the same thing. 1 1/4. And let me just make sure. Yeah, don't want to lose myself. All right, 1 1/4. And all the way up to the score line. All right, so then they should be able to kind of flip independently. All right. Good. And then we have our Plaid Tidings paper. It should be 4 inches this way. Yep. And then we're just going to cut 1-inch strips. So I need 2 1-inch strips. So I'm going to cut one of those and one of those. So if you want to make a piece of paper last, this is a great way to add a touch of plaid to a paper and, to a card, but also make your paper go really far, because I still have a ton left. So, all right. So now we've got this flappy card, right? It looks a little wild, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our white piece that's 4 1/4 or 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to glue that down. And then we're going to take our branches here, and I'm going to take this one, I'm going to fold it over. Now, when I fold it over, this has a tendency, it can wobble quite a bit. So I'm going to make sure that it lines up on that outside edge. And then the same with this one. I'm going to go ahead, being a lefty is crazy. And I'm going to make sure that it lines up on that edge. I'm going to smooth that down. Okay, so now we've got our flap, right? Yeah, Mary, you're right. Is that tool Stampin' Up? Yes, Judy, it is. Our paper trimmer and scorer is a Stampin' Up tool, and it comes with a cutting blade and a scoring blade, and the arm actually folds out, so if you need to do, longer pieces, you can. It's relatively new. I think we got it last year. It was our new one. It has a hook hole here, so if you have one of those pegboard things and you want to hang it on your work surface, you can. It's really fabulous. I love it because it has a ruler here too, so I can actually see when I get to 4 1/4. So awesome. All right, so we've got our plaid, and we're going to take our plaid, and we're going to go ahead and put this on the front. I'm going to do this one over I'm going to have the stripes kind of line up. So they do, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm going to have them kind of be continuous left and right. Okay, so now we've got our card. Now I'm going to stamp some trees on the front, and I'm going to use shaded spruce for my trees. I will say with these trees, you definitely want to make sure you get a good impression. All right, so my stamp is clean. I was getting fuzzies on my stamp, but that was just because I was using cheap baby wipes. I find that just rubbing it on my clothes is better and easier. All right, good. So I got good inking on this. This is a really big stamp. You're gonna need, most likely, what block is this? Is this an E? Yeah, you're gonna need an E block. All right, so what I did is on the left, so I did one where I was kind of over here on the left. And then I did another one where I'm over here on the right. And I've got that big tall tree over there. Great. Awesome. Just a good sturdy impression on that. And then I believe I used Misty Moonlight on the inside, or Pretty Peacock, actually. It looks like I did Pretty Peacock on the inside. So we will get that. And then I might use Pretty Peacock on the outside too. So we'll get Pretty Peacock in, but you could probably get away with doing all shaded spruce, honestly. And I think you would be perfectly fine. On the inside, I had to stamp this little tent because I just thought it was too cute. So there we go. We got our little tent. Awesome. Thanks. I love the colors too. This is a really pretty card. And they're really, technically there isn't an embellishment on here, but we can talk about that. We can agree to disagree. There is heat embossing. So what I did is I cut a die from the Tasteful Labels dies. I love these dies. They're beautiful. The shapes are really fun. And I wanted something that was elongated for that lantern. And so I decided I was going to use this long, skinny one. So yeah, these camping stamps, they're really cute. I can just see us getting a lot of use out of this for a long, long time. Girl Scouts, we'll definitely use it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Versamark out, and I'm going to stamp in Versamark, which is a watermark stamp. So you can actually stamp in Versamark on like colored cardstock, and it'll show up almost like you're doing tone-on-tone stamping, which is cool. But in this case, I'm going to use it with our heat embossing powder. So let me move this out of there. All right, so I'm going to ink this up really good in my Versamark. And it's clear, and so it is kind of hard to see. And I like to make sure I get a good impression with it. Now you can't see anything, but that's okay. Because once we shake this gold powder on, oh, well, that was probably a little much, but all right, let's do that. Now, hey, Virginia. Hey, LaJill. Thanks for joining. So, I like to flick the back just to get a little excess off. And then see, there's one little piece right there, and I'm just going to use my nail to get that off. Okay, so now we're going to heat set it. And so I have a little clipboard. This was like in the dollar section at Target years ago, but I'm going to do this. But before I do that, because I have fans on in my room, I like to take my sheet and I'm going to save as much as I can of that powder. I have had the same gold embossing powder since I became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, which is 7 years ago. And you can see I'm getting low, finally. But I don't need a new one yet. Embossing powder should last you a really long time. All right, so now we're going to heat this. Ooh, see that change? Man, I know, Candy, I was so excited. Yes, Lynn, this Dollar Tree or Dollar Bin clipboard was probably one of the best, because then it saves my fingers and I'm not like burning my little fingers. Yeah, this label die was perfect. I was so excited. It's a little crooked, but we're gonna roll with it. It's cool. All right, now we're gonna stamp the Explore down below. And I'm going to do this in Pretty Peacock as well, because I'm trying to draw out all the colors on the designer series paper on that plaid. Okay, great. So now we've got our Explore. Now, in my card, in my original, you'll see things got a little muddy in here, and you'll wonder why. I used my blend markers on the embossing that goes over here, and I forgot about that. So the blend markers are alcohol-based markers, and it will kind of rip up your heat embossing and it'll start to muddy it. So that's why it looks a little funny. So with this one, what I'm going to do instead is I'm probably just going to use my Stampin' Write markers, my kind of like, you know, my watercolor markers, my normal ones. And I might try to add, you know, a little bit of a glow in terms of the outside. Like I might come in, that's Mango Melody, and I might come in with a little bit of like Flirty Flamingo on the edge, maybe a little bit, but probably not a lot. Just so that it gets that kind of glow look. Now realize you can't blend with these markers, so it just looks a little more fiery probably. But I am gonna kind of, yeah, there, okay, that looks cool. Okay, awesome. One more hint of mango right there. Okay, now, like I mentioned, it's a really fine design. On this one, I actually colored in the lantern with a soft suede marker, and I really just made it really dark and solid. I'm not sure I want to do that on this one. I really like all the detail, and so I think I'm going to leave this one open and gold. But you could color this like red if you're using red plaid, or I could do it in just jade, right? Or I could do it in Pretty Peacock or something too. But in this case, I think I'm just going to leave it just as is. And then I'm going to mount it on my card with a couple of dimensionals. What color is your embossing powder? Gold. Thanks for asking, Gail. I used gold embossing powder. So it's my oldest embossing powder. The original, the OG. All right. Beautiful. So I really like the look of this in terms of, you know, in terms of the gold embossing. I like all the detail. I like the fine line on this lantern. And I love this little card. I think it's really fun. It's easy. This isn't hard to do. You know, it's definitely stepped up, you know, but it's not, you know, not incredibly difficult. Yeah, so in this case, with this one, all I did was I used our Stampin' Write markers. These are our watercolor-based markers. You can get the full set, or you can get, they do have them in small packs, like you can get just the Regals or just the Brights, or you can get the in colors. So like this is the colors we just had, Bumblebee and Just Jade, Cinnamon Cider, Magenta Madness, and Misty Moonlight. This would probably be a really good set to get if you're just looking for a good color set. I have the big pack, so But in this case, I used Mango Melody and Flirty Flamingo. A little bit of Flirty Flamingo, a whole lot of Mango Melody. But to me, it looks like a real fire. So yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for hopping on. I'll post the PDF and then I'll end us out at the end of the night. So I think we've got Sarah coming up next at 6:30. Hope everyone's had a wonderful day. I've loved seeing all the inspiration, all the beautiful cards, and I can't wait to see, you know, how everybody shares their stamping and their cards and start sending these to everyone. So, all right. Bye, y'all. Have a wonderful night. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.